Apparently when I turned off my GPS, I lost you. But, so I handed my husband the credit cards, and I was recognizing that things were getting way out of control. I hadn't used the credit cards, where before, like a couple years ago, I would go on those splurges and like just binge shop, and then Chris would bring it up, and then it's like you're spending a lot of money this week. Like, what are you buying? Like, it's at Salvation Army, Goodwill, like all these other thrift stores. What's going on? And I'm like, instead of acknowledging that there was an issue, I would turn it into an argument, and I would try to justify it by saying, well, you buy cigarettes, and you buy energy drinks, and you buy tools, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I wasn't willing to admit that there was a problem. And, I was using shopping, and still do, to cope. There are way worse ways that I could choose to cope, but there's also way better ways as well. Basically yesterday it got to the point where I started having suicidal ideations again. Not to the point where like I felt like I had to go somewhere or like I need to go do something, but it would just be like in passing, like, oh look, there's an 18-wheeler coming, in the opposite lane. Like, it would be just so much easier if I just pull my steering wheel and just hit the 18-wheeler head on. Same thing with a dump truck or a tree. And then I like have that moment of like, my kids need me. I can't imagine the burden that would place on the driver of the truck and all of the people in the general vicinity that would stop because there was an accident, the first responders that would show up. It becomes like so overwhelming that where I was able to recognize that yesterday and today, I couldn't do that before. Like, I really just would get stuck in that thinking that, okay, this is what I've got to do. Like, I can't take it anymore. And it was like the same way. I'm on the way home from Charleston now, but on the way to my appointment, I'm driving over bridges thinking I really should just stop my car and just jump off. And then like, I'm like, no, it's not high enough. And then like the truck thing, I started thinking about that again, and trees, and just like feeling really bad, like so trapped, like that's the only answer. I go into my session at the first responders clinic today, and she's already aware of what's going on. I messaged her yesterday, and we did EMDR on how I was feeling, and so all throughout my life, as a child, as an adult, anything that like I had experienced, I just shoved it as far down as I could. I put on a happy face and pretend like it didn't exist. Eventually, when I turned 30, my brain was like, oh, you remember all that stuff you never dealt with? Here it is. And it's like all of the memories, everything just exploded. I really need a phone mount. But, so I went in there, said it gave her chills, and she just like loved where my brain took us while I was processing. That each time that I cross a bridge on my way to session, that I could acknowledge like a trauma or something that I've accomplished throughout therapy. Like, and there's a lot of bridges between the rivers and the swamps and everything like that. Like, recognize, like, make notice, make sure that like I am giving myself grace and credit for as far as I've come. Like, and just kind of like name the things along the way. So then I'm processing, and then a few different, so like you stop, you say what you're thinking or whatever, and then you do it again. So like a few different times later during the same session, I end up saying, I think I should do that with all bridges. And it doesn't have to be just like therapy, like where I've come with my mental health journey. I can, and there's plenty of bridges around Conway. I can go over each bridge and name something that I'm thankful for. And my sister jumped off of a bridge, and that's how she lost her life. And then a bridge is also associated with the two girls that drowned in the transport van that I really struggled with. So for me, like, since that incident, both incidents, like, bridges have been like a really negative thing, like really anxiety provoking. So I'm like, how about I take bridges and make it like a positive thing? You know, I could drive over the bridge and say, I'm so thankful to have, you know, healthy, beautiful children. Like, after losing 2 children, the fact that 7 years after Hamilton died, that God blessed us with 3 babies, who are not so little anymore. I mean, they still are, but just, they've grown so fast. But like, I have so much to be thankful for, that if I concentrate on the positive, hopefully I can cancel out the negative as it starts creeping up and becoming too much. So that's kind of how EMDR works. I have no thoughts of doing anything crazy. And I'm just looking forward to getting home and squeezing my babies and getting them ready for football and cheer, and going to watch them play, snuggling up with them in the bed tonight, reading them a story. And I'm just thankful to be alive. I'm thankful for EMDR. I'm thankful for my counselor. I'm thankful, you know, to God for putting me on this journey, even though it's been so crazy, and there were times that I just did not think there was an out. I want to share this with you all, because if there is someone that you know, or you personally are struggling, and you feel like you're just trapped in this dark hole and there is no hope, I just want to remind you that just like there are seasons in the year, there's seasons in our life. And I think the one, like, singular most important thing that I've learned throughout this journey is that healing is not linear. So in other words, instead of, you know, like, processing things and like right now I feel good, that does not mean that like tonight I won't struggle, or tomorrow. But it doesn't mean that I am going to struggle either. Like, I could go a week and be doing okay. But it's just important to remember to give ourselves grace and to be patient with ourselves and take breaks when we need to, If you just can't do the laundry, that day, it's okay. It will still be there tomorrow. And I don't think anybody has like a home inspector that's coming tonight to come check to make sure all their laundry is folded, unless you have my daddy, and my daddy likes to fuss at me about my house, but he does it lovingly and only because he wants the best. And I think he worries, like, when things start to get a little out of hand, he worries about where I am, like, mentally. And of course he doesn't want my babies, neither do I, to not have all of me, to not have the very best of me. So it's good to have a support system that pushes you when you need that nudge. But I can't explain to you how important it is to find a good therapist that you trust if you are in need of one. Be open-minded. Try things that may seem kind of weird, because honestly I thought it was pretty strange, and it works, and it works well. I've tried a lot of things, but I just wanted to put that out there if someone needed to hear that, or maybe you know someone that maybe needs to hear it. Not really talked about my son like to that extent before, and I definitely would have never ever posted on social media about like our journey through losing him and like having to make that decision. But EMDR helped me get to the point where I could talk about it with you all, and that is like such a huge victory. And all I can do is just do the best that I can, and just make sure that I never give up. And I want to encourage you to do the same, because you are worth it. Your story matters, and you're loved. Gonna post this, and hopefully help someone. All right, love you guys.